Hello friends, Alon, the international cruiser here. And surely you've heard about the saga that took place last week in the Greek city of Syros, and about the show of support from the official authorities this week when the cruise ship Crown Iris from Mano Cruises docked in Rhodes. So in this video, I want to summarize the entire sequence of events on this topic, mainly with the aim of dispelling concerns and incorrect rumors. And to raise another important issue, which is that in my opinion, these events did not receive proper attention within the international cruise community, and why, in my view, these events should concern all cruise enthusiasts everywhere. So I marked the different sections for you on the video's timeline for those who aren't interested in the event summary, so you can easily skip to the part that's relevant for you. Before I start wrapping up the recent events, if topics like this are important to you as well, and if you'd like to support the channel and the message of this video, I'd appreciate it if you gave it a like. It helps promote the video to more viewers. Also, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon if you want to watch similar videos in the future. So, what happened? Last week, the cruise ship Crown Iris was forced to cancel its stop at the port of Syros due to a protest in the port area. This is how it looked from the protester side at the time. And of course, the Israeli crowd on the ship didn't stay indifferent. This is how it looked from the ship. And above all, you can see the friction between those staying on the ship and the demonstration. In the end, Mano Cruises was the one that decided to cancel the disembarkation at the port in order to prevent clashes between the sides. After the event, which was certainly unusual in its severity, there were several discussions on the matter, both between the foreign ministers of the countries and by Moshe Mano, the chairman and owner of Mano Cruises, with senior representatives in Greece. Moshe Mano himself is a descendant of a family that immigrated from Thessaloniki to Haifa, and in his conversations he even emphasized the long-standing close relationship between the company and Greece. Since then, the matter has been taken seriously by the Greek authorities. Security forces have been reinforced near the ports, and during the visit of the Crown Iris this week in Rhodes, the passengers were warmly welcomed by the authorities and residents with an official ceremony that included the mayor of Rhodes and local business representatives who handed out snacks and sweets to the ship's guests. However, at the same time, there was also a small protest that was dispersed from the area by the police forces. As you can see, they took the matter seriously there, and it's clear which side the authorities see themselves on. In the end, it's important to remember that the friendship between Israel and Greece is strong. Most of the residents are supporters of Israel, with only a small handful of radicals. And despite any discomfort that may have been caused by seeing these images, the option to continue traveling to coast in Greece remains available and safe. The local authorities did not ignore the events. They acted quickly, ensured order, and removed the protesters from the heart of the issues. The police acted in an organized and clear manner, and most importantly, tourism is still warmly welcomed throughout Greece. It is worth noting that after the first incident in Syros, Greece's Minister of Health described the protest as shameful for Greece, and said that we owe an apology to our friends who chose to spend their vacation here and whose rights were forcibly denied. The incident should not harm the relations between the countries, nor should it affect the love Israeli tourists have for Greece. Greece's Minister for National Security claimed that the prosecutor on the island of Syros should have prosecuted the protesters who prevented passengers from the cruise ship from disembarking last week. He added that from now on, the Greek police will take action if similar incidents occur in the future by enforcing the law against racism, and as you can see, they have prepared accordingly and intend to continue handling those who break the law in the same way. And why should this matter to the international cruise community? If a protest by just a few dozen people, there's no other way to describe them, can prevent passengers from an entire cruise ship from disembarking, then today it's a Free Palestine protest, and tomorrow it could be against cruise tourism in general. After all, we know there is significant opposition to tourists and cruise tourism in various port cities. Just look at what happened this very month in France, or the laws and restrictions that various authorities in Spain and Italy are passing to prevent cruise ships from entering. And in contrast to the case in question, where most of the local authorities supported the entry of the ship and the disembarkation of the passengers in those cities, so today it's a ship of Jews who are not being allowed to exercise their rights. Tomorrow it could be a ship belonging to one of the international cruise companies, and then I'm sure it will make the headlines on the international cruise channels. And just for the sake of full disclosure, I'll note that the only channel that addressed the issue and at least covered it as news was the excellent The Travel Scout. They even opened their broadcast with the story. Think about that. Just a few dozen protesters, that's all it took to prevent passengers from disembarking from a cruise ship. So you see, but it's precisely for this reason that I would like to see the cruise community stand behind the Israeli passengers. And beyond that, I would expect the international cruise companies and the association itself to speak out and impose sanctions on the ports that behave this way. That's one thing that needs to be clarified. If restrictions are imposed against the cruise industry, it's something entirely different from allowing each port to set its own policy. And maybe that's why we also see international companies buying interests in various ports around the world and developing and expanding private islands. But that's already a topic for another video. So if you don't want to see more and more ports closing to cruises, give this video a like and I'll address them in one of the upcoming videos.
Gracias.